Welcome back to TYT Sports. It's Cinco de Mayo, which is a complete, what is it, commercialization?
Yeah, it's commercialized. That's why I'm actually Instagramming whilst filming on YouTube with beer, which may go on Facebook, which may be on Twitter, which may come back. Commercializing it, Jason.
All right. So, thank you, Bart, and the music over there, very beautiful. Cinco de Mayo is today, Cuatro de Mayo is yesterday, and there was NBA playoffs on Cuatro de Mayo. There's also NBA playoffs on Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to eat in front of you. I'm going to drink in front of you. I'm going to drink water from you, and I don't care.
I already
it might
ate,
be
by the way.
unprofessional.
Don't think I'm watching my weight. I ate before.
You're watching a little bit.
Jason, but I did say, and I
would you like my corn?
This is what he just called it corn. Edwin, tell him what that's called.
What's it called?
Elote.
Elote. I found that out a couple of years ago because I did say the usual
Edwin.
whitest thing in the world, and I went, hey, that corn on the cob with the white stuff, that's cool, and people are like, it's elote.
But it's not a salote.
Lo siento.
But it's really good.
I'm going to eat in front of you. People are like, oh, it's so unprofessional and gross. You know what? Ben Mankiewicz ate a bagel the first time I ever did a clip with him. So, you know, what do you want me to do about it?
He was celebrating the food that he likes, that belongs to his culture.
That's true. It's our culture.
Oh, your culture, sorry. Oh, yeah, did it on a clip with me as well.
My people. Man, the Wizards and Celtics really hate each other, though.
Yeah, there's some stuff's going on.
You know, I mean, look, so I have a whole list of like how the, kind of what led to Kelly Oubre pushing Kelly Oubre. Kelly O versus Kelly O, as some are saying. But we also have like, we took 8 seconds of the video because why not? Here you go.
Oh, I love the attitude. Jason Rubin's Cinco de Mayo attitude is the best attitude.
It is. I'm just an effort. We're doing it live.
Let's do it.
Bill O'Reilly style.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
We could roll AO1. Unbelievable.
Thinking that Kobe Bryant has, and Isaiah Thomas is fully embraced it as Oubre-Olynyk gets called for a foul.
Oh, I love it. It's
The audience is the best.
like the WWE. Oh!
When I seen this, I thought, you've got to probably go out or some sort of technical, but no. But, because I mean.
No, it was a technical.
I know, but I'm thinking throwing out the game. Because I'm coming from the sensitive football culture. Well, that is like, there's no difference between doing that and like pushing the guy's face or his neck or anything, so you
He
still would
eventually
go out.
got ejected.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but for that specific call, I thought it was, it kind of encompassed this rivalry that's going on, this little niggly back and forth.
I think Isaiah Thomas put it pretty well. A lot of people want to like dig through, why do they hate each other? Like they need like a therapist or a psychologist to break down what's going on in their frontal lobes. I mean, Isaiah Thomas in about 20 seconds summed it up pretty well. Here's that video.
You guys have played against these guys in the regular season. They've been maybe not this chippy, but still quite chippy. What is it about the Wizards that brings this sort of chippiness out of both of you guys whenever you play?
We don't like them and they don't like us. That's just what it is. Two teams competing. Whatever bad blood we've had in the season is carried over to the playoffs. But we're just competing and trying to win. And they did that today. We took care of business at home. Now we just gotta try to get game.
We don't like them, they don't like us. Let's leave it at that. All right, Francis, here we go though. So here's my favorite thing, is a lot of the websites that run Wizards-Celtics rivalry, or Bullets-Celtics rivalry when they were called the Bullets, runs 30 years deep. No part of whatever Larry Bird and Manute Bol were going at each other about, I don't even know that was the same time, but Bird versus Wizard, Bullets rivalry moments have anything to do with the 2016-17 rivalry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, part of it has to do with Marcus Smart and Bradley Beal. Marcus Smart went up for a dunk. Marcus Smart plays chippy. I don't want to go, I mean, he flops, we know that. He gets a lot of calls, we know that. That's very obvious. Does he get calls that help his team? Yes. Does that make him better defensively in certain aspects, although unfair? Also, yes. Well, Smart went up for a dunk and he really threw his elbow pretty hard at Bradley Beal, gave him a concussion and broke his face. So not too good. Then Smart and John Wall exchanged some words in a chippy match about a year and a half ago. My favorite is, Francis, I need to illustrate to you, Crowder, boop, John Wall. You can't do that. I mean, I don't know why you can't do that. I think it's hilarious, but you were explaining to me earlier that you used to.
Kiss people on the cheek.
And why was that?
Because it's so much more, one, what's the referee gonna say? Like, no affection. And two, is like, because it gets under your opponent's skin more so than if you were to push and shove. How many times has an opponent been pushed and shoved? probably a lot. How many times has an opponent been kissed on the cheek whilst being marked on a corner? And you better believe that opponent that I did to, and I think I did it to the same guy over like a 2-season period, and he was expecting it, and it still got under his skin every single time because he kind of looked at me and be wait, is this guy going to kiss me in the cheek?
Did you wear lipstick?
Going to kiss me in the cheek? I asked him if he wanted me to make it maybe a more enjoyable process.
I gotta be honest. I would be so mad if you did that to me. Not for any specific reason. It would be like blowing in my ear, like LeBron and.
That's what I'm saying. It's these unconventional methods. Jason, I could rhyme off a list of about 10 or 15 really vulgar things that I've had done to me in a Scottish game. That people have, like thumbs in areas, fingers in areas, like. And the favorite one was
toes in your butt?
The best one, which was most painful, which wasn't that vulgar, it was just really sore. Is they used to stick their hand through my shirt and pull my armpit hair. And it was just so sore.
Oh my God, I'm gonna do that.
I'd be like, oh man, what are you? And
is that where you get your?
What are you
is this where you get the thing from? Oh,
I said lick people and touch them, and they'd be like,
"You're so weird."
Is it raining? They're like, "No, I just licked you." Yeah, that's what Scotland does to you, I'm afid. All right, accept it. That's why we're really tough and physical, but we're not that good because we're too busy.
These are the stories that I like hearing. We continue. Otto Porter called the Celtics they play dirty. Isaiah Thomas responds with, "We play hard. If that's dirty, sure, they were the dirtiest team in the league." And then all of it kind of falls back on there was the funeral game where the Wizards dressed up in all black for the Celtics funeral, and they actually won that game. So that was big. And don't forget, there was also the Al Horford coming to the Celtics over the Wizards because Jay Crowder said, you don't want to go play for Washington. We whooped them 4 times the year before he signed, the summer before he signed. You want to come play for us. So there's just all of it, boils over. They really don't like each other. They are chippy. They play physical. I think it's a good story for the NBA playoffs. It's now a 2-1 series. Beal got to use Isaiah Thomas as a chair. We've seen DeMar DeRozan do the same thing. It's his big flaw is that at 5'9", he cannot guard any shooting guard in the league. He can interrupt passing lanes. We've seen him do it, but the Celtics could not lock down defensively in game 3, which led to turnovers and why they were able to come back in game 1 and 2.
Yeah, so, I mean, you see it at the end of the game, Isaiah Thomas straight to the locker room. He wasn't very happy about the way things went. But my thought on the first point you made, you can't say, there's teams that in history will just notoriously hate each other, whether you swap in and out personnel.
Oh, yeah.
Like Celtic and Rangers. You swap out, you bring in 8 or 9 Cameroonian players to play in the Celtic, in the green and white hoops. They'll still hate Rangers. They'll find a way to hate Rangers because that's just the way the system works. It's that culture. You can't tell people that they sign for Celtics that the fans are telling, I can't wait for you to go out and beat the Wizards. Can't wait for you to do that for us. No, more of these rivalries have actually been formed because of beef between players and on-court actions. You're absolutely right. But there is some rivalries that remain in American sports. There's one thing I do think in America you guys do very well, which is it's very competitive, non-stop, and you always get good games that teams want to beat each other. But the deep-rooted hatred is something that I've always seen is kind of missing from a lot of sports.
And I don't believe in a lot of the rivalries that happen.
Yeah, and I think that goes hand in hand, correct me if I'm wrong, is the fact that teams can change hands at any given moment. The Celtics-Lakers will be a rivalry as soon as the Lakers get good again. Because those teams notoriously have went back and forth. When you get an unstoppable force against an immovable object consistently hitting against each other, that's a rivalry. But it's not seated in anything. It's not seated in religion, which I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying this is what happens. It's not seated in religion or territory or any of these things. Like Arsenal and Tottenham, it's not a fierce rivalry, but it's a rivalry because they're both trying to be the best team in North London. Which is why I'm so surprised. Why is there not a Clippers-Lakers rivalry? I mean, there's 2 teams in LA. They play in the same stadium. They don't like each other. Why is there not like a fierce, bitter rivalry? Well, fans don't really like the Clippers fans don't want to hear about the Lakers, and Lakers fans still think Clippers
even
are the
if Dan was sitting right there, I would say it. Clippers have been good, debatably good, for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And they don't have, it's the Mets and the Yankees. It's the same as any rivalry within the same city. The White Sox and the Cubs, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter the sport, Jets and Giants. One team will always prevail over the other because of history. The Lakers are the second most decorated franchise in basketball. The Clippers have 0 conference final appearance banners.
Yeah, you're right with that.
So there's no It's like Man City and Man U. I'm sorry, City fans. And they've
history's-
had more success recently than Man U. Well, debatably, but still, they had the Premier League title.
Yeah, I agree. But history, Manchester United can always just point to the history, you know? That's why I think that, I'm not just saying this because I love the teams, but that's why Celtic Rangers are one of the best rivalries. And that's why Barcelona and Real Madrid are one of the best, because they're so close. Celtic and Rangers are quite literally very close when it comes to it. Yes, Rangers have won more domestic trophies. Celtic, though, can also throw it in their face that they've won a Champions League. If it's called a European Cup. So there's plenty of ways to go back and forth. But that's where, in this rivalry, this one right here, it's just players not liking each other, which is fine. It makes it exciting to watch.
Which, by the way, I think that they're going to be hovering a thin line in Game 4. For one, refs pay attention. They're going to be looking for stuff. Two, if you are the Wizards, you cannot risk John Wall or Bradley Beal getting thrown out of a game. You cannot risk, if you're the Celtics, Isaiah Thomas or Jay Crowder or Al Horford getting thrown out of a game. Because when these players get ejected, you're immediately turning the tide of that game and that series. Like, you have to sit and think to yourself, do I want to win this series by shutting my mouth and letting the scoreboard talk for me in the end? Or do I want to throw a punch at Kelly Oubre? And understandably, I think I'd want to throw a punch at Kelly Oubre because the way, look, it was in real time, it was a hard basketball screen, but you got to look at the history of the player. You make this argument all the time. You got to look at the history of the player and how they play the game. And Olynyk, I know he ripped Kevin Love's shoulder out of his socket, and people saw that and they remember that. He's been at the forefront of some dirty-ish plays. I think there is an argument that the Celtics do play dirty, but I am fine with that idea. I think the line between dirty and physical is the same line between how much do you like or not like the team. Draymond Green is a dirty player, now objectively, but a pest and a defensive freak of nature. And I thought it was funny, by the way, really quick before we wrap this up, because we've gone on for too many minutes about this, and I want to eat more of my food, as you can see. Look, it's Cinco de Mayo. You made the point that Draymond Green rains threes.
I was going to make this point.
So I thought it was funny because he's not a great three-point shooter, but he makes the open one. And then last night, it's like the first quarter, he had 4 threes, and I'm like, I can't believe, like, 2 days after Francis makes the technically not exactly right point of he rains threes, Draymond Green opens the floodgates from behind the arc.
5 from 7.
That's raining threes.
5 from 7 early on, and I quite literally watched each one go in, and after each swish, I just felt myself sinking further into my chair in relaxation, thinking,
it's the upside down.
How's that feel, comment section?
Don't leave me.
How's that feel, comment section?
Go to the sunken place.
Charles Barkley would not be able to stop any of those 5 of 7 threes. Therefore, he would have a great advantage in beating Charles Barkley. That was the only point I made. Charles Barkley, not notorious for at least being able to make threes. Draymond Green, give him an open look, find space. 5 from 7, I'll take that.
I'm gonna take Chuck at a close matchup because, you know, Chuck in his prime he was big. By the way, that's why I compare the two. They both are like they're small bigs who play bigger than their bodies. That's the comparison. Barkley grabbed rebounds at the rate of a 7-footer. Draymond Green plays defense like Dikembe Mutombo stuffed into a 6'8" body. How tall is Draymond? 6'8", 6'7", 6'9"? Somebody comment in the comment section. Whatever, we've done enough. I really want to finish these clips today because there is so much more tacos and beer for me to be drinking and eating and all that.